Stellar Blade has been one of the most exciting games I've played this year. I'm thrilled to talk about why it stands as my game of the year. Since its release, I've been completely hooked on it, both as a fan and as someone who's sharing my experience through coverage on this channel occasionally. And if you of course followed my journey with this game, you'll know I had a blast playing it. And I'm planning to continue enjoying it as well with its new upcoming DLCs, the ones that haven't been announced yet, and yet with near and including the Christmas deal extras, that's always a nice touch. But there's more to my admiration for Stellar Blade than just few fun playthroughs or exciting updates. It's a game that struck me deep, offering not only great gameplay and beautiful aesthetics, but also a genuine sense of community and the developer's passion that I think it's rare in today's gaming landscape. First of all, I want to acknowledge the massive influence of Shift Up and Kim Hwang-T, the director and the lead developer behind the Stellar Blade. From the start, it was clear that they had a vision for this game, one that wasn't swayed by the voices of the media or concerns over what players might think about its looks or themes. In a time when so many games are overly cautious about pleasing everyone, Stellar Blade is unapologetically its own thing. It doesn't shy away from being stylish, bold, and confident with its design choices. And despite some of the initial pushback, especially in the Western markets, I really respect the way Shift Up stayed true to their vision and didn't let outside opinions derail their creative process. Now, I know the controversy surrounding the game's characters and the design choices have been one of the more talked about aspects. Some players were uncomfortable with the way certain characters were portrayed, particularly Eve, Lily, and Raven. Beautiful characters whose looks became a focal point in some of the conversations about the game. As much as I respect differing opinions, I firmly believe that the beauty in the game isn't just about the skin deep aesthetics. The characters in Stellar Blade are not only visually stunning but also well developed with their own compelling stories, adding much more depth than what some of the critics focused on. It's frustrating to see such a beautiful and well-crafted game be reduced to its looks by a few vocal detractors. Now, there were also some of the discussions about the censorship and the removal of the certain outfits, which sparked a little bit of a debate. While I'm still not entirely sure what happened there, I have to say I'm glad that the outfits were eventually restored. Whether or not it was due to the players' backlash, it was nice to see the developers listening to the community, especially in a time when so many companies just push forward with their plans without regards for the player feedback. To me, it was a clear example of Shift Up's commitment to maintaining the integrity of their game and listening to their audience. They didn't just push out the half-baked product and then abandoned it. Stellar Blade has continued to evolve, with additional content, free updates, and extensive photo modding features that only add to the game's replayability. And the best part? None of it has cost players a dime, well, of course, other than that near extras. This goodwill that Shift Up has cultivated with the community is something rare and refreshing. In a world where so many games nickel and dimes players with microtransactions and paid content, Stellar Blade feels like a game that was made with love and one where players can enjoy it to its fullest without feeling like they're constantly being asked for more money. I never felt like a customer while playing this game. Instead, it felt like a part of something bigger, something that was being shaped by its creators, but also by the input of the players. The level of community engagement is rare, and it's one of the reasons why this game resonates so strongly with me. But let's not forget about the game itself. Stellar Blade isn't just about visuals and community goodwill, it's actually a blast to play. The combat is engaging, dynamic, and full of depth. It mixes the fast-paced action with strategic elements that keeps things interesting throughout the game. One of the things I really love about the gameplay is the variety of strategies you can use when battling different enemies. Some enemies are best dealt with through quick, aggressive attacks, while others require a more cautious, tactical approach. Whether you're parrying or just at the right moment or using special abilities to interrupt enemies' attacks, there's a satisfying sense of mastery in the combat that makes each fight feel rewarding. The design of the world is equally impressive. Every area in Stellar Blade feels thoughtfully crafted, with every corner brimming with details and add to the riches of the world. From the remnants of the old technology to the living, breathing places where different culture coexists, the environments feel alive and believable. You'll find yourself lost in the world's lore, learning about its history and the people who's inhabited. The blend of the old and new, the futuristic tech alongside the remnants of the broken past, creates a unique atmosphere that makes each area feel distinct, yet interconnected. It's a world that feels like it has a past, a present, and a future. And that depth really enhances the immersion. Now, I can't talk about Stellar Blade without mentioning somewhat of its story. While I've heard some complaints about its predictability, I personally enjoyed it. The narrative isn't just trying to reinvent the wheel, but it's told in a way that kept me invested in the characters and the world. The plot centers on Eve, and while their character's arc may seem familiar to some, the way she developed along with the world around her makes it a story worth experiencing. And for me, that's what matters most. A good story doesn't have to be groundbreaking as long as it's told with sincerity and passion. Now, another thing that sets Stellar Blade apart from many other titles this year is the way it's made me excited for more. I'm typically not someone who gets hyped about sequels or future content, but Stellar Blade has managed to reinvigorate my excitement for the future. Whether it be free updates, the paid DLCs, collaborations, or the sheer potential for more content down the line, I'm genuinely excited to see where Shift Up takes this world next. This is actually one of the few AAA games I've played that have truly made me excited for the future of the franchise, and I think that's something really special. In a year that has had its share of standout games, Stellar Blade stands above the rest for me. It's a complete package, beautiful, fun, engaging. It's a reminder that there are still games out there that don't just follow the trends, but set their own course and take risks to create something truly memorable. For me, it's not just my game of the year, it's a game that has reminded me why I love gaming in the first place. So, what about you? What is your game of the year? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all those good stuff. I'll see you guys all later.